What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be previewing the AFL Draft for 2023. And yes, I am doing a preview, even though Port Adelaide has one singular pick. One pick, that's all we have. We could end up having two if a pick in like the 5th round ends up sliding down into the 70s. You just never know. But we do need to make two selections minimum more to fill our list for the required 37 as a minimum amount for players. We're currently at 35, and I think, with that combined with the preseason draft, the one pick will probably come with pick 73 that we're holding at the moment, and then obviously in the preseason draft. So there's our minimum 2 picks required there. But today we're going to preview the national draft that's happening on Monday. And talk about some of the selections that we can make with the one pick that we do have to select. Unfortunately, there won't be pass selected for this one. But yeah, we're going to have a look and see some of the candidates, because I've actually done some research. Right? Normally I get the big names and throw them in here and be like, oh, maybe we can get them. But I've actually dug deep and I've had a look at some of the talent, thanks to some sources out there that have been in and around on the ground looking at the talent that are capable of slipping to pick 73. And seeing what Port Adelaide can pick this year. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it and preview the 2023 AFL Draft with Port Adelaide's one singular pick. Now, I know what you're thinking. Anthony, we got one pick. Does it really matter who we select? They're just probably going to end up on the list for 2 years and then piss off. No. The people that I've researched, the players, the young kids that are out there looking to fulfill their dream. Now, I must say, we've picked players in the past at a later pick that ended up being club legends. Robbie Gray at pick 55 and Justin Westhoff at pick 71. Also had David Roden come in at pick 84. He played a few good years at the Power as well. So there are a lot of candidates out there that I think can potentially fill the void. And you just never know with your pick, do you? You never know how they'll pan out. And also know what you're thinking. Pick 73, if we're holding that at the end, all you're going to see is pass. But no. We're not. We're going to be selecting some players. So, what I wanted to talk about was what we need, firstly. And I think, we've covered our bases with tall defenders. Never had too much harm in covering that. Obviously got Clury and Piscini in there. So, there are depth players there. Another ruck, perhaps, potentially. Obviously, gone out and got Soldo and Sweet. We still have Vizentini. And obviously, the likes of Dixon and Finlayson who can fill the void, but another one could never hurt. Getting that small forward, obviously with Orazio going to Carlton, and us, sort of moving players around and stuff like that. Another small forward could never go astray as well. So you just never know there what to expect. Overall, you look at it says pick 73 to start with, but with the bid matching and the father-son selections that could come into play, this pick 73 could end up being in the 50s, which boosts the value so much more. Where there's a lot more cartel available at that stage, and I think this pick becomes a little bit more present on the second night of the draft anyway, and especially when as I said, there's so many players out there that you could possibly pick. They do say this talent pool isn't particularly strong. But a few diamond in the roughs could definitely slip through, and you just never know. So hopefully something does come up and presents itself in those picks. In terms of trade value and pushing up the draft order, very, very unlikely. We've gone out and gotten the trades and the players we wanted to fill those gaps and fill the voids. So don't see us doing that, especially with a father-son selection next year. Rome Burgoyne, the key candidate there. We've got a few others as well lined up. So. But he's the key. So I think we'll definitely be holding a lot of picks back for next year, and hopefully picking up Rome next year and being a little bit more prominent in next year's draft, because you just never know what will happen at the end of 2024, especially with the season always up in the air. So there's some details behind what this draft could pay out and plan out to be, but there's definitely some candidates to look at. So let's get straight to it. Let's have a look at some of the players that we can pick at pick 73. Starting off with Vigo Vizentini, the brother of Dante Vizentini. If you thought Dante was a great name, Vigo, beautiful name. He's 204 centimeters, 99 kilos. He's a ruckman. What did the Vizentini family do to get such tall pillars? I don't understand. This kid is a dominant ruck. He's similar to his brother. He's an ex-volleyball player, which comes in handy with jump and a bit of athleticism. So definitely a candidate I would be looking at. He's predicted to go in the 40s and and in and around that area. And there's a few clubs out there that would be looking at some drafts. But if he slips through, then why wouldn't Port Adelaide have a look at the brother of Dante? And just an interesting duo, wouldn't it be? Brother duo of Visentini's. Like, you just wouldn't pick it. But you never know. He'll be available hopefully around that mark. Another one to look at, and this is the one I'm sort of picking here that I think we might sneak out of the draft with, is Will Patton. He's 193 centimeters, 79 kilo, tall defender. He's a versatile player though. He's a general down back. He's the captain of the SA team in the under-18 championships. He's been a key pillar in the Sandful for he's been a wonderful player. They've really developed him nicely, and I think with Piscini looking like he's not going to get another he's already gone actually. Sorry, with Piscini gone, Jonas gone. We want a caliber like that, and obviously having Radigalia and Zerk Thatcher and the other two as well. Lined around Aliria Clury as sort of back up with Mackenzie. A younger key defender coming through the ranks would be great to see, although we have been sort of killers of key defenders. But he's versatile and very much could play a key part, especially with that experience in youth, but also that leadership, and young leadership has always been so valuable. So it'd be interesting to see how that one pans out. But definitely one a lot of people have stated that if he slips through, definitely Port Adelaide can pick him up. He did train with Port Adelaide for a week during the 2023 season as well, so he's got that experience with training at our football club, and definitely must have been something that we would have been keeping an eye on throughout the year, especially as a South Australian boy as well. Apparently grew up as a Crows supporter, so he's going to have to turn that. But overall, would be a great pickup, I think, if we got him where we're sitting in the 70s, or further up in the 50s if we get there. Another option is Jack Deline. He's 181 centimetres, 77 kilo, small forward. He's also a South Australian boy. He was another one that trained with Port Adelaide along with Will Patton earlier in the year. He's been touted. I was reading some draft reports about him. He's been touted as one of those small forwards that can do the impossible things. Now, we've always sort of filled our small forward ranks with players that have come from other clubs, or McEntee was also coming through the mid-season draft, but haven't had a key small forward that's been developed young like we had with Robbie Gray, and we've seen Woodcock go off and to do other things. So having someone that's pretty relevant in terms of the South Australian talent, staying at home factor as well, trained with the club, knows the outings and the inner circle there. So either of those two, I think, look to be a front runner for what we select, especially if they sneak through the ranks. And Deline is just a nice name for a small forward, I feel. So one to look out for. Another one that's been touted to be in and around the area of our pick is Kane McAuliffe. He's 187 centimetre midfielder, a big bull, 86 kilos. Gun inside midfield. He's got a lot of grunt. He's very clean on the inside as well. He's very capable of being a player that can win his own footy, but also can manoeuvre around and has a tank to do so. Was at South Adelaide as well, and was very impressive there. So another name to keep your eye on for the night, or the day, I think we're picking our pick. So one to look out for, but a few options there. They're ones, all differences. You've got a tall defender, you've got an inside midfielder, a small forward, and a ruck. They're all capabilities to be in and around, and I think they're sort of assets that can cover all bases, especially in areas that we need, and you can never have too many inside midfielders. Just to finish off, a couple of local talents to keep your eye on, not necessarily thinking we'll target them, but Kobe Ryan, Liam Fawcett and Bodie Ryan, they're a couple of players to keep your eye on. They're South Australian boys, and if all those picks that I've mentioned before don't get mentioned by us on the night, if they've already been selected, or we just missed the chain there, and you see some local talent still ringing around, those three names are definitely something to keep your eye on. And also Jed McEntee's obviously on the senior list, so that's what opens up another spot there for a rookie to move forward. So a lot of options, even though we've got one pick. And I wanted to talk about those options because I still think there's a lot of value in this pick. And we can't just be sitting here going, well, we're going to be selecting P-Arse. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. Check out the latest episode of The Glass Table, which is out now. The draft is on next Monday, the 20th of November. That's the first night for the first round, and then second on the 21st of November. So that will be our day, the 22nd, late in the day on the 21st of November. So check it out next Tuesday. I'll be following that around, and plenty more videos to come before the end of the year. Big way to end the year. Fixtures also going to come out very soon as well. We're playing West Coast round 1 on a Sunday afternoon at Adelaide Oval. So look forward to that next year on March 17th, I think it is. So everything's starting to build, even though it's November. But yeah, very much keen to jump on that subscribe button, and I'll look forward to speaking to you in the next video. My name's Anthony, and as always, come ThePear.